Hello there and welcome to a new episode of Coffee Break Blogging. We're nearing the end of phase 3 of our overall sequence of building an online business from scratch. Phase 3, if you look at the 7 stages, which if you go to coffeebreakblogging.com and opt in, you will get this sent to you. It's a 7-stage process that we're walking through. Phase 3 has to do with building up our email list, and that's what we've been talking about for the last several episodes. And we're nearing the end of that. Pretty soon we're going to be moving on to the next one, which is going to be all about traffic. But today, what I want to talk to you as we near the end of phase 3 is a little bit more advanced in some ways that you can actually use your email list. Specifically, how you can use a blog and a marketing automation tool together and get serious results from it. Now, first of all, I need to define what a marketing automation tool is. A marketing automation tool is essentially a CRM. It's a customer relationship manager. So take your standard email list setup like Aweber or MailChimp or something like that, but then take it up to the next level where instead of having, subscribers on these different lists, instead you've got one list, and then each person has an in-depth profile based on anything that they bought, any tags, any pages they visited, pretty much anything. You can track it on their profile. And you can email them unique messages. You can assign tasks to staff. You can do all kinds of very nifty things with a marketing automation tool. The whole idea of marketing automation is that it literally automates your marketing. Your prospect does certain things and your system will react automatically, and it saves a lot of work. And I'll give you some examples of how this can work in this episode. Now, first of all, in terms of marketing automation, what are the big options out there? Now, there's several of them out there, but there's 3 that often circulate in the online marketing circles. And those are Infusionsoft, Ontraport, which is the guys that I use, and ActiveCampaign. Now, all these companies essentially do the same thing. Infusionsoft and Ontraport are very similar, and it really just comes down to preference. Infusionsoft has been around a little longer, so they do have more integrations and stuff like that. But Ontraport is quickly catching up, and Ontraport, most people will attest to the fact that it's simpler to use than Infusionsoft. But, it's a give and take. Now, ActiveCampaign has all the automation stuff the same way. And it's a really, really great system from all things that I've seen about it. Now, the one difference with ActiveCampaign is that it doesn't have the e-commerce capability. So you're not going to be running your orders through it or running an affiliate program through it, which both Infusionsoft and Ontraport will do. But ActiveCampaign will do your email, and you can do all kinds of really fancy CRM stuff with it. Now, the good thing about it is that depending on how many subscribers you have, ActiveCampaign is much cheaper than Infusionsoft or Ontraport. So if you have a small list, and I forgot what the cutoff is, I think you can get started with ActiveCampaign for as little as $49 a month, and you're going to have a full-powered CRM at your disposal. Really, really cool stuff. Now, the way these tools work is that when you set up, you're going to have your opt-in forms and everything, just like any email list provider. But these companies are also going to give you a little blurb of code that you're going to put on your blog, and it's just a one-time thing. And that allows the system to track what your subscribers are doing on your site. And that is how you get an integration between the blog and your marketing automation tool. Once the person has subscribed to your list and your CRM is tracking them and knows who they are, then when they come back and they read a particular blog post or they visit one of your sales pages, your CRM is going to see that. Okay? And then you can set up rules that will react based on what your prospects do. Now, here's a few ideas that you can put into play if you're using a system like Infusionsoft, Ontraport, or ActiveCampaign. One is that when they visit certain blog posts or certain pages, then you can tag them accordingly. Now, this can be used in different ways. For example, you could, if you know that you have a series of blog posts that's related to topic X, whatever that might be for you, and you happen to have a product related to topic X, and you might have call to actions inside the blog post and everything, but they're just not buying it. So you can tag them as having visited or read blog posts related to topic X, and you can basically proactively turn them into a prospect for that product that you have related to that. And then you can follow up and you can tag them as a prospect for it. You can also, automatically email them. Okay. And so this goes into the next idea that you could do. So let's say that one of your subscribers, they come to your site and they visit your sales letter. Maybe you've got a membership site and they visit the sales page for your membership site, but they don't buy. Now, do you want to just let that opportunity go? I mean, maybe they had a question. You don't know what it is. You don't want to just assume that they have no interest in your membership site. So what could you do? Well, you could just straight up ask them, right? So one thing you could do is have your marketing automation tool track visits to your sales page. And then if they visit and they don't buy, then you can set a time frame that maybe the next day your system will automatically email them and just say, hey, did you have any questions? Whatever it is that you want to say. I mean, you don't want to make it creepy. Hey, I noticed you visited my page at 3:27 p.m. yesterday. That might be a little creepy, but you can still just be cool about it. Just like if you walked into a store and you were looking at products and one of the employees will come over and be like, hey, can I help you with anything? You're essentially doing that. It's just that you're doing it in an automated fashion and you're doing it via email. Now, a lot of these CRMs, a lot of these marketing automation tools, you can also, instead of sending them an email, you could assign a task automatically to one of your staff members and to call them. So if you are dealing with a higher priced product and they visit that page on your site, then you could trigger a task to one of your team members to call that person and just see if they have any questions. There's lots of different things here you can do by setting up these systems and having your marketing automation tool actually react proactively to what people are doing on your site. Here's another one, and this goes into an idea that's called lead scoring. Now, I'm not going to get real technical into lead scoring here. This is a little bit more of an advanced topic. But lead scoring is basically an arbitrary score system that you can assign to people in your database. And depending on the actions that they take, you can either increase or decrease their score. Okay? So the way it works is that the higher the score, the hotter that lead is. And so if they visit your sales page, they're probably going to be a hotter lead than if they just visited one of your random blog posts. So you could adjust the scores accordingly. And also, typically, you'll set a schedule so that as time goes on, their lead score will decrease automatically. So, somebody who visited your sales page 2 weeks ago is not going to be nearly as warm or as hot of a lead as somebody who visited it today, okay? So one of the things you could do with your marketing automation tool is increase their lead score the more they visit your blog. So your system will track this. Your system will be looking at what your leads are doing, and if they come back frequently, you can actually increase their lead score automatically, and that means that they're much more engaged with you. They are a hotter lead for products that you have on offer, because these people they're into you, man. They're coming to your site often, and you want to know those things. And your CRM can track it, and you can run a little report and find out who those hot leads are and follow up accordingly. Now, here's another thing. There are businesses out there. Let's say that you're a coach. You're in the coaching business, and you've got a site, you got a blog that has a contact form, a way for somebody to apply for a strategy session or something like that, and they fill out a form. Now, you could have your CRM, your marketing automation tool, track your lead going to that application form, and let's say they don't fill it out. Does that mean that they just weren't a lead for that? I mean, maybe maybe something spooked them. I mean, whatever. Maybe you just need to follow up with them and be like, can I help you with anything? So and especially on a coach, because typically the pricing, if you're a good coach, you're going to be charging prices that make you happy with the service that you provide. So, if that one lead is something that could actually be worth a few $1,000s to you, it would be worth it to have your marketing automation tool track that activity so that you can automate some follow-up and maybe rescue some sales that would otherwise have been lost by the fact that they didn't actually totally fill out that form and hit submit, okay? So those are some ideas here. Now, one thing to know about this is that in order for any of this to work, your marketing automation tool does need to know who the person is. So essentially, they need to be a subscriber already before your system is going to be able to track this stuff. If you have somebody who's not a subscriber and they're visiting your blog, well, that's great. It's just that your marketing automation tool is not going to be able to do anything about it because it doesn't know who they are. So that should be pretty obvious, but I just wanted to make that clear. Now, again, the top 3 tools that will make this stuff really work for you is Infusionsoft, Ontraport, and ActiveCampaign. All good companies, all with different, styles of things. So you basically would just need to look into them and see which one works for you. Now, one thing I will, put out there, because I know a lot of people of different experience levels are listening to this podcast, and that is that if you're new to all this, if you don't have different products on offer and stuff like that yet, then you just don't need to do this yet. A marketing automation tool is definitely something that your business has to be at a certain point before it's really worth it, because these marketing automation tools are not the cheapest things around. I mean, I'm paying almost $300 a month for my Ontraport account. Now, I'm not just, willy-nilly going to throw $300 a month around if I wasn't clearly making that back, And so if you're just starting out, you're not ready for this type of stuff. Now, there are some automations built into other ones, like GetResponse has a way of tracking what pages that people visit on your site. I think Aweber has the same thing, so you can actually track visits on your site to your subscribers. But what these companies don't have typically is a way to automatically trigger certain reactions based on what they're doing, because those are more traditional, what I call linear email systems. They're not marketing automation tools, but you can still set up the tags. Aweber, I don't know what they call it, the email analytics tag or whatever, but you can actually install that on your blog, and you can at the very least track how much traffic your individual emails are giving you, and not just from the click-throughs, but also any follow-up clicks that they do. And you can actually track that stuff inside of Aweber. So you do have some ability even with the more traditional email list host. Okay? But if you are a little bit more advanced, or let's say you're already using one of these tools, Infusionsoft, Ontraport, or ActiveCampaign, definitely look into setting up some automations where it makes sense, because that marketing automation tool plus your blog makes a very powerful combination. And in fact, it turns your blog essentially into an extension of your sales team, if you have one, or if you are your own sales team, it's almost like turning your blog into another member of your staff. Okay, it's cool stuff, and your blog has so much marketing power, but sometimes you've got to combine it with the right tool for the right job. And the marketing automation tools combined with that blog is a really, really powerful combo. Okay? Hopefully you found that useful. I wanted to end off by reminding you about my webinar that I'm going to be doing at blogmonetizationwebinar.com. As you can tell from the URL there, it is about blog monetization. We're actually going to be looking into a lot of the traditional ways that bloggers monetize their blog, and then I'm going to be bringing it forward into 2015, into the way that you need to be focusing on it now. And I'm going to show you the exact structure on how you monetize and set up your blog so that it will actually make you money in a sustainable way. So that webinar you can find and reserve your seat over at blogmonetizationwebinar.com. webinar.com. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Again, if you find these episodes useful, I'd highly appreciate it if you jump over into iTunes and post a quick review for me. And the shortcut right into that is blogmarketingacademy.com/iTunes. Okay, see you soon.